Hello everyone, Ron here from L.T.L Tutoring Central, and if you're looking for tips and strategies to help with your learning, well, you're in the right place. A lot of students, and I do mean many students, look at a blank computer screen or look at a blank piece of paper and they don't know where to start. They don't know what to write about. What am I supposed to write about? This is when you offer a free writing session when they can pick the topic and write about anything they like. You would think that would be the easiest thing, but for some of us, it's the most difficult. So I thought I would make a video talking about some ideas that can take the sting out of that particular pain point. So here's one I've talked about before. Keep a journal. And this might seem counterintuitive. I just told you I'm having trouble thinking of ideas. How am I supposed to keep a journal? Well, first of all, you don't have to write in your journal every day, although that is a great idea. But if you don't write every day, pick the times that you're going to write and then be consistent. Otherwise, it's not really a journal. It's just random writing. So if you're going to write 2 or 3 times a week, try to pick the days that you will do that consistently. Or if you're going to only do once a week, maybe write a little more and make sure you definitely write at least once a week. Probably working toward doing 2, 3 times a week or every day. In your journal, you can start off very easily. Just start writing about something good that happened to you today, something maybe not so good that happened today, something you saw, something you heard, something that interested you on television or the radio or the internet. So it doesn't have to be big and fancy and it doesn't have to be long, but the idea is that you're constantly and consistently writing. You're practicing your writing and you're practicing coming up with ideas. And often once you start, then other ideas come into your mind. Once you begin to write on a topic, then another point comes in, another idea comes in. So just getting that process in place is important. Some of the other ideas I'm going to talk about in a moment can also be added into your journal. These overlap. They're not necessarily all separate and by themselves. So the next thing is start a clippings file. You can do that the way we used to with either a book or a file and just literally cutting out clippings from magazines or newspapers or recipes, all of these sorts of things that you can collect. They can be photographs and can be quotations. You can write them out as well, of course, but it's called a clippings file, and you're just basically keeping interesting bits and pieces in this file. Or, of course, you can get clippings off of the internet. Keep them in a program such as Trello. That's the one that I use. I don't really use it for clippings that often, but you could keep a clippings file there. And you have all of these interesting bits and pieces, and you can access those when it comes time to write about something. Say, oh yes, I found this topic, or I found this book review, or I found this humorous cartoon or comment, and you just basically find anything that's of interest to you, clip it either physically or online, and keep it in your file. You can have both, of course. You could have an online one and an offline one. And then you have all of these different ideas to look through, flip through, and say, yes, here's something I could write more at length about. You can also use books, movies, videos, and art as jumping off points. You could write your own book review or movie review, or you can take the characters from books and movies and write something about a particular character or a couple of characters. You can write about the events or the plot in the movie. You can critique it, but you could also if you're doing fiction writing, you could add to it. You could do a different ending. There's lots of possibilities around books and movies and videos, of course, same idea, but you could agree or disagree with a point of view if it's that type of video, if the video is doing a commentary or talking about something political or something that you can either agree with or disagree with, and then you can expand your thoughts on that point. A work of art, a painting, a sculpture, How does it make you feel? What does it make you think? Does it remind you of something? And that works for the books and movies and videos too. Do the characters remind you of somebody, or do the events remind you of something that's happened in the past, or that's something that has even happened to you personally? So all of these things can enter into your idea generation for writing, but also remember you can put those into your journal as well. Or you could write something really short and keep it in your clippings until you're ready to write a little bit more. The last point I'm going to make in this video is be aware. And this is important for all of the points that I've mentioned before, but in your life, just be aware. I talk a lot about being engaged when I talk about learning, many aspects to get engaged. So be aware is the same idea. In other words, don't just walk through life blindly. We all do it to some degree. I do it myself sometimes because you just don't want to think at that moment. But we're not often aware of our surroundings. We're kind of aware, but we don't pay close attention. So if you're looking for ideas, just force yourself to pay close attention. You can look at the tiniest details and find something to write about. You can look very closely at, let's say, a bush that's covered in flowers. You could write about that, but you could also zero in and look at one individual flower on that bush and just keep thinking about all the different things that you see in that one little space. And of course, you can look all around you at the birds, at the trees, at other people, people watching, the traffic, I don't know, but everything in your life, try to be aware and be engaged with it. And you'll be surprised how many thoughts you can have on an item that you never thought you could write anything about. I often give my students an ornament or a stuffed toy or something from just around home here if they're coming in person. And online, I give them a photograph and say, write about this. Write as much as you can. And it could be a descriptive article, but it could also be a story. And it's often the case that, well, I don't know there's nothing to say about it. It's blue and it's small. And that's it. But keep thinking about it. What is its texture? What is its shape? What do you think about it? What are your feelings? What are the emotions? What do you think it would do if it were actually alive, etc.? There's lots of things that you can think about if you're aware. So be aware and engage yourself with the world around you or a particular item, and try to just do a thought experiment. You don't even have to write at that moment. Do a thought experiment. If I were going to write on this particular object, what could I say? How many different things could I think about to say? And you can start with your senses because that's relatively easy. You know, what do I see? What do I hear? What do I feel? What do I taste? What do I touch? You can't use it in every case, but in some cases you can. And that can help you get started. And as I say, the more you think about something, the more ideas will pop into your head. The more you write about it, that works even better because getting something down on paper or something typed on the computer screen, though you reread those sentences and you say, oh yeah, I could say a little bit more about that, or this could take me in another avenue. Takes a little bit of practice, but not so much because I have worked with lots of students who are not strong writers to start with, and even they begin to think of new ideas as they go through the process. So anybody can do this. You just have to be willing to try and be aware and keep working at it. There are a few pointers to help you get over the idea that there's nothing to write about when you have the freedom to write about anything. So there's some ideas that will narrow it down a little bit for you. So you can look at some of your clippings, or you can think about movies or books or characters, etc. And that narrows it down. Sometimes we have too much. It's like the internet. There's too much information. It's not that we're lacking it. There's just too much and we don't know where to begin. So you can start narrowing it down for yourself and then take that piece that you're going to work with and expand upon it in your own writing. I will put a link to the blog down below, so you can go have a look at that. It's on the same topic. And I will put a link to the website. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave it below if you're watching on YouTube, or you can shoot me an email from the website. I'm always interested to hear what people's ideas are, or to hear from clients or potential students. In the meantime, keep having fun and keep learning. It's Ron from L.T.L Tutoring Central. Until next time, bye-bye. A quick look at the subscribe button, the notification bell, of course the thumbs up for like if you like the video, and there's the website www.tutoringcentral.com, and email me at tutoringcentral@inbox.com.